Hi Foxes, and welcome back to my channel. This is Brittany from ShopFoxBURROW. I am ShopFoxBURROW on Poshmark, Instagram, and Etsy, and today I figured I'd just do a little like work and chat video because what's better than multitasking, right? So if you're up for a little bit of chat about business, about life, then stick around. So you may or may not know that I have a handmade business on Etsy called the Purple Hedgehog, and it is actually what started my journey of working for myself. So when I left my job in 2015 to stay home with my first son, this is basically what I was planning to do. Between this and the vintage, I was making more or less equivalent to what I would have been making working as a merchandise manager at Barnes & Noble. I had been working as a merchandise manager for Barnes & Noble. I really liked it. I worked in bookstores and libraries pretty much all my life. And I had told myself, you know, I was doing the zipper pouches and I was doing full-time work, and I worked an hour away, so it was an hour commute both ways. And I applied for an assistant store manager position once at the store that I worked at because there was a vacancy. And because I was already working there and I wasn't an outside new hire, there's like all this like preemptive like learning that you have to do before getting that position, even though if they hire from outside of the company, then they come in with zero knowledge of the store. So basically when I applied for that position, I told myself, you know, this is going to make it or break it for me. Either I'm going to get this job and I'm going to stop doing my side hustles because it's getting to be too much, or I am not going to get this job and I'm going to put my all into working towards working for myself. And I did not get the job for the reasons that I told you, and then who knows what else. But they hired another guy from outside of the company, and he was really nice. I liked him a lot. But he only stayed with the company for like not even a year before he left and moved to a completely different state. So I was like, should have hired me. But by that point I was like not interested in filling that role, and I was gonna give my notice when I was ready anyway. So I got 5 months pregnant, and I was like done driving back and forth an hour a day, and I'm done working on my feet all day, and so I quit, and I have not had a regular job since then, and I'm perfectly happy about that. So that was a long introduction for why I'm doing this right now. So I have had this handmade business, and it's been growing and growing and growing year over year. Last year I had my best friend in the world, Katie. She came to work for me full time. So from September to January, she worked for me full time. And then she started having fewer hours in February because this business just couldn't like support paying a full-time person a livable wage, because you know I'm not gonna have my friend working for like $10 an hour. So you know I had to make sure that all of her bills were paid and that she was taken care of and I was taken care of, and then yeah, so she started applying for other jobs, and she got a full-time position, and she was supposed to stay on and work like 10 hours a week, and basically maintain my business so that I could focus on my vintage and Poshmark. And she got that full-time job, and then the next week COVID hit. So she left in March, I think the 1st of March, and I actually have not seen her since then. We live like 30 minutes away, but she's been very worried that, you know, by some freak accident she'll like give the kids COVID or something like that. She just has a lot of anxiety, and I have to respect that. I don't want to force anything. So I have not seen her since March. But yeah, so that's kind of like where we are. Normally I would have hired a full-time employee, or, you know, someone to help make zipper pouches. But this year I shut down my business in March. When she left, I was like, okay, I'm just going to shut it down for a week. We'll figure out your schedule for, you know, when it works for you to come back. And she never got to come back. So, and I just didn't have it in me to stay home with both of my kids and do my vintage and do this, you know, like just customer requests and making sure orders get filled, and there's, you know, timelines, and just too stressful. So despite the fact that this could have been a record year for me making, you know, these pouches, and normally at this time of year I would have a queue of literally 125, 130 orders that needed to be like made and go out. But I have 23 right now because I've got my shipping time, my processing time on 2 weeks. Which I'm fine with. It's like, it is what it is. I can do what I can do. And right now that's what I can do. So here I am making zippered pouches. They look like this when they're finished. Like that, just little like zipper pouches. They're fully lined, and I was also just really burnt out on making them. I've been making them since 2008, and when you do something for 12 years, it's like you just don't want to do it anymore. Like, how interesting is it to sit and sew zipper pouches for, you know, hours out of the day? But I did realize that sewing zipper pouches was a lot of my YouTube time, so I would sit and sew zipper pouches. Or I would be ironing like this and I would be watching YouTube. And so I did miss that, and I have been watching a lot of YouTube since I started making bags again. But what I'm doing now, after I get these orders finished, is I'm converting over the whole business to ready to ship. So I want people to place an order, and I want to be able to ship it the next day. That way I'm not worried about like timelines and, you know, getting stuff out and people needing in a hurry. And I feel like people just like that anyway. Yeah, but this whole year I've just played with like, do I want to keep doing this? Am I ever going to want to go back? Like, I would just think about doing this and just be filled with a sense of dread because I just didn't want to be doing what I'm doing right now. So anyway, I have decided to do this for the time being and just kind of get it to a place where I can be a little bit more creative with it. And, you know, I always start out the new year with big plans and everything, just like ideas, things I want to do. But I have to be realistic with myself about like what 2021 is going to bring, and I don't think it's going to be that great, to be honest with you. Like, maybe if we're lucky, next summer I can enroll my kids in like summer camp or something like that and get some freaking alone time, because that would be mint. But yeah, who the heck knows? So, yeah, does anyone watch Labyrinth? This is a Labyrinth themed. It is Jareth, and it's just... Anyway, so I have been toying with the idea of every year at the end of the year, because, you know, it's the last chance to make a purchase before your tax like cut off. So every year at the end of the year, I usually buy myself like a pretty big purchase that I think will really help my business and just like inspire me for the next year. The first year that I did this, it was buying my, you know, original dress form. Last year, 2 years ago, it was buying my MacBook so that I could start YouTube. So anyway, this year I was thinking about doing another dress form, and this one is it's called a full body dress form. And basically the dress form, like, you have this cast iron base, and then it has like a hook stand, and then the dress form is like hanging off of it. And the dress form has, you know, a full torso, no arms, but a full torso, and then it has legs. And the point of these is like making dresses and, you know, making pants and trousers and things to see how they drape. But what vintage sellers use them for, or just sellers in general, I guess, would be like swimsuits, jumpsuits, rompers, pants, because it's just like if you get a regular dress form where it has the stand in the leg of the dress form, you have to take the dress form off every single time to get the pants through the hole, and then you have to reattach the dress form. It's just like a complete pain. But with this one, you just put the pants on and then just pull them up like you would on like if you were dressing a toddler. So honestly, it's probably easier than dressing a toddler. Anyway, so I've wanted one for so long, but they're so expensive. So this dress form, the one that I want, I found one on Etsy. It's the cheapest one that I could find from an American-made company, and they're $520. You do get free shipping, which is no small thing, because the other sites wanted $80 to ship it. But yeah, it's a lot of money, and like, do I need it? No. But do I think it would make me happy and that I would feel like more comfortable picking up pants and not having to model them? Yeah, you know, so that would be pretty awesome. So I'm just thinking about it. What do you think? Do you make like large purchases for your business? I've never made a large purchase and then regretted it later. Like, I've never bought something and then been like, geez, I wish I didn't have a MacBook Pro or a new camera or a dress form. Like, I've never bought anything that I haven't loved and hasn't added to my business in some way. So I don't know, I really feel like I want this dress form. I do have the money in my business account. I haven't been going anywhere or sourcing aside from that palette, so I haven't been spending anything. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, I feel like now's the time. Now's the year. What do you think? That's it for now. I do have 2 videos coming out next week. I have one related to my Stitch Fix palette and one related to a kind of personal sourcing trip that I did, and hopefully you like those. And then I have plans for one more video before Christmas, maybe 2, and then that will probably be it for this year. I think I'm going to take the week after Christmas off, just give myself time to reset. I always like to take that week to kind of look at what I want to do next year, what my goals are, kind of take a look at what I accomplished the year before. And then in January, I will be back with some year wrap-up videos. So I'll take a look at how much I made this year on Poshmark, you know, learning lessons, and what I made on my Etsy store, not the handmade one because I haven't been doing that, but the vintage one. And just, you know, whatever other wrap-up stuff, probably brands that I'm going to be looking for in 2021, just things like that. So that will be probably most of my January agenda. And I've also been thinking about doing a video on frequently asked questions. So I've been getting a lot of questions about, like, how do I take my pictures? What is my lighting setup? You know, what apps do I use? Just like all this. So I thought I might get into the nitty-gritty about how I do my photography. I feel like it would be very hard to replicate just my very large window, like my natural light and just like the space that I'm in. I feel like it would be hard to replicate that. But I could talk about, you know, what products that I use. And it's also a goal to set up an Amazon affiliate store. I really need to do that, so that when you click on a link and buy something that I suggested, it kicks back a tiny bit of money to me. That would be a good thing to at least have. I don't know how many people would use it, but I know that when other people mention something in their YouTube videos, I make sure to go and use their affiliate link so that they get some money for whatever it is I just bought. Daily Refinement has one, and he just had a video that I was watching like an hour ago, and he has this lanyard with the phone attached to it. It's like a rubberized lanyard, and the phone sits like right here. So he's freaking taking pictures, and he's just like, boop. You know, like he doesn't have to put his phone down. He doesn't need a pocket. And I was like, yes. So I bought one. I got a purple one. It's supposed to arrive next week. I am so excited. But I bought that from his affiliate store, you know, so it's just like, I should have an affiliate store, right? Yeah, so I've got to go take my dog to get groomed, and a big part of that is getting my children into snow gear. Not really. Getting my children dressed to leave the house, and getting the car warmed up and stuff. So I've got to go do that. And yeah, I'm going to finish up these pouches later today when I get home. Thanks for listening to me ramble, guys. This is just a silly Saturday. Okay, I'll see you on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Don't forget, I'll see you there.